turn this down before it finally understands.
You switch this right here.
So I already. Hey.
Okay.
Shut this noise down and throw up some Asian banjos. All right, man. Here you go. Yeah. 'Cause you don't tell me what to do.
I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter. Peanut butter. I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter. Peanut butter.
You're listening to the CreepGeeks podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/cheapgeek. Get ready. Here it comes. Man, welcome back to the CreepGeeks podcast. This is episode number 91.
North of Roswell, aliens in dresses, and abductee candidates.
Nice. And welcome back to the CreepGeeks podcast, episode number 91. It's good to be with you. So here we go. We're going to start this podcast. Thank you so very much for tuning in. And I just realized the title that you have for the podcast is not the one that I put in Facebook's.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. What I put in Facebook's was North of Roswell, planning your dark tourism tip or trip, and the little thing.
Well, I couldn't get that one together enough, but I do want to do an episode where we talk about planning your dark tourism, which is essentially going to creepy places and going to haunted places in a vacation style thing, or with a purpose, as opposed to just, oh, I'm in Florida, is there anything creepy around? Actually planning an active thing.
All right, so if this is your very first time tuning in, what's this podcast all about?
This is an offbeat news podcast where we explore the strange, the stupid, paranormal, and tech topics circulating the web.
Yeah, basically it's a creepy podcast. We talk about creepy stuff, and on creepy stuff, talk about funny stuff, because that's kind of what we've been doing for about 90 episodes or so. So we recently changed the name from the Cheap Geek podcast to the CreepGeeks podcast because it makes more sense, and we got a bunch of people tuning in because people like to watch the podcast as we record it live on Sundays. So we've been doing it on Facebook, but next time we're going to be doing it on the YouTubes. And I know some people really like to see it on Facebooks, but I got to tell you, Facebook, for doing what we're trying to do here, where we're doing some things like as in recording this podcast live for video playback, and also doing an audio podcast live for an audio playback on iTunes and SoundCloud and iHeartRadio and everywhere else you can find us, doesn't work so well.
No.
It's been a thing, and it is what it is. So we do have people listening right now and following us right now live as we record this podcast. So I'd like to welcome everybody here. My cousin Lisa's here. Hello. Haven't talked to my cousin Lisa in like 30 years, ever since it was probably longer than that. Long time. Brian's here.
Brian
Hello.
says
Sod's here. Hello. Scott Seegers. Spooner's here. Who all is here? My pop's here. Jessica's here. Stephanie's here. We got a bunch of cool people here because they're listening. So, hey, very much appreciated. So we do appreciate all the support. And if you want to support the show, a couple different things you can do. If you have iTunes and that sort of thing, you'd like to listen to the podcast, you can always click it and do a little 3 to 5 star review if you'd like. purely up to you. But anywhere you listen, if there's an opportunity for you to review, that'd be super great. Here we go. From the comments, we should switch to MySpace. That's what Spooner said. And just so you know, I have this finger right here. This finger is the equivalent of Thor's banhammer. Doesn't take much. Ooh, a little bit of this.
Brian's saying he's having a hard time with the TV app. Trying to get...
And then Jessica's saying, blank screen. Is it just me? Yes, it is. I don't know. So let's do this one more time. If you can hear us, let us know. If you can see us, let us know. And this is just proving the point as to why we should be moving on from the Facebooks and doing something else.
Yeah.
When it comes to doing a live stream type thing. And we've been doing this for a while, and every single time there's an issue. Yep. Huh. Every single time, issue. So that's what we're going to do. Since I have a little free time on my hands, I'm going to spend some time figuring out the Facebooks versus the YouTubes and make it better as best I can. And it looks like YouTube's going to be the way to go. So I'm kind of familiar with it. So anyway, there you go. Any questions, comments, concerns? Let me know. Seeker says Thor no longer has a hammer. It depends on what universe and what comic book universe you're reading in there, bro. So Mr. Seeker says I can still hear and see. And Brian says I just found it under CreepGeeks. Yes, because that's where we are now. Thank you very much. All right. So now we got those public service announcements out of the way. Let's start talking about some stuff. What do you want to talk about? Let's think about it.
Well, I don't... Oh. Interesting factoid.
Ooh, there we go.
Yes.
So we like to do different segments in the podcast. We do news, of course. We do like paranormal and weird news. We also do interesting factoids, usually the first thing we talk about. And we do rants and sort of things like that, but it kind of depends on what we got. We also do silly news, stupid news, funny news from different places like Florida and the Southwest, Florida, New Mexico.
True. So, yeah.
Maybe Arizona's coming up in there. It kind of depends really on what it's all about. So.
Depends on where in Arizona. So
yeah.
But our interesting factoid for today is that did you know that Roswell was not the first documented crash landing in America?
Yes, I did know that.
Like modern America, I should say.
Yes, I did know that.
So where
was it first?
I kind of knew.
Yeah.
But I heard a conversation the other day about somebody making a trip to Roswell, and the other person was like, "Oh, isn't that where the first UFO crash happened?" And
no, not at all.
Another nerd popped in and started to tell them.
Another nerd's like, "Excuse me, hold on."
Started to tell them that the Aurora, Texas UFO incident, reportedly occurring on April 17th, 1897, was the very first UFO crash landing reported in the United States. Documented. Yes. Reported and documented in the United States. The incident, similar to the more famous Roswell UFO incident 50 years later, is claimed to have resulted in a fatality from the crash, and the alleged alien body is actually buried in a grave at a local cemetery outside Aurora.
Yep.
So, yeah. Sometime during the 1896-1897 timeframe, numerous sightings of cigar-shaped mystery airship were recorded across the United States. But on April 17th, 1897, an edition of the Dallas Morning News, written by Aurora resident S.E. Hayden, alleged that a UFO had hit a windmill on the property of a judge 2 days earlier, around 6 a.m., resulting in a crash.
You fly across millions and millions and billions of light years, or through time, depending on how you're looking at it, or through alternate dimensions or parallel universes to hit a windmill.
Yeah. A big brick and wood windmill.
A good one.
Yeah.
A big one. Yes. I like how they say reportedly wreckage from the crash site was dumped into a nearby well located under the damaged windmill. While some ended up with the alien in the grave, and adding to the mystery is the story of Mr. Browley Oates, who purchased Judge Proctor's property around 1935 when he was cleaning out debris from the well so he could use it as a water source.
Yeah.
Right? But later developed an extremely severe case of arthritis, which he claimed to be the result of contaminated water from the wreckage dumped in the well. So as a result, Oates sealed up the well with a concrete slab and placed an outbuilding on top of the slab.
Oh.
And this was done in 1957.
See, that kind of sounds...
arthritis, radiation poisoning.
Yeah. And let's
bones
start
stiff.
Dumping human waste on top
Uranium.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's build an outhouse on top of it. But there's there's claims that there was this is all a hoax. And in the months prior to the crash, Aurora had been beset by a series of tragic incidents over and over again. The local cotton crop, was destroyed. A fire on the town's west side claimed several buildings and lives.
Dang.
Shortly after the fire, an outbreak of spotted fever hit the town, nearly wiping out the remaining citizens and placing the whole town under quarantine.
What?
Yes. Finally, a planned railroad got within 27 miles of Aurora, but never made it into town. Basically, I get kind of like a lot of these ghost towns, railroad was promised, and then when it came to the actual construction, just bypassed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Essentially, Aurora, which claimed nearly 3,000 residents at the time, was in serious danger of dying out. So they think that this whole alien thing was a way to try to drum up tourists, visitors, businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, though, if you go online, you can actually still find the location to where the alien was buried. The alien body that was found at the crash site. Supposedly, the alien was buried respectfully and given Christian last rites.
Sure.
And actually has a headstone. So I thought that was a little cool.
That is very nice.
Yeah.
You never know, we could go there.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
We
Sure.
can?
Why not?
Oh.
We'll just put that on a list.
Okay.
Put on a list of places to go.
Texas. How
Yeah.
far is Aurora, Texas? Let's find
Probably
it.
a lot. Texas is kind of far.
That's true.
How far is it? It's a lot. That's how far it is.
Let's see. Oh, it's 9 hours away.
There you go. Let's get some banjo music and hit the bricks, man. Yeah. So I'm reading the comments here, because you kind of got to follow along with that too. So Dave says, where in Texas is Aurora? I know it's 9 hours, like he just said, but is it in the middle or bottom, panhandle or somewhere?
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's a little bit above Fort Worth. And
Okay, so it's towards the top. So
it's northwest of Dallas by 3 inches.
Well, there you go. So it's at the point of the top of Texas where you'd put a little hat,
Okay.
right?
Actually, no. Here's the hat right here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's the next biggest city?
The next biggest city is just south of it is Fort Worth.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be around the Dallas-Fort Worth regional area.
Yeah. Let's see. If I add a destination.
If you could fly into it, you could probably fly into it, rent a car.
Directions
I
to.
don't know if it's that critical though, really.
Yeah. Okay, let's just click here. Okay. Oh, it's only 42 minutes away from Fort Worth. Pretty much. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a long, flat drive.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what Dave said.
Yes.
And
That's why I said
Sod,
that.
Sod is correct. Zoom in, it's about 5 inches.
Oh, didn't realize we had to be such sticklers. Like you guys are going to go.
Yeah.
Get in the car, we're going to go see this.
Mm-hmm.
How far is it? It's 5 inches away.
Yeah. So. Ow. But yeah, that was the interesting factoid for the day.
Well, that's very nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since I don't know what this is, you need to talk about the next part. Since you read the podcast.
Because I had overheard that conversation about Roswell and Aurora, Texas. I had already been reading a book. The book is called Mysterious New Mexico, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. It's got a very cool cover. That's the cover. So this was written by Benjamin Radford, and it is a compendium of short stories as well as the unusual about New Mexico, like some of the top subjects.
Yeah.
Actually had that book on my wish list for a while, and somebody got it for a present for me.
Yes.
So, but
Who was it?
you.
That's right. It was me.
So just want to double check. Yeah, okay, so it's 13 chapters of various things. Anything from La Lorena, which I think is...
Lorena.
Yeah, the Wailing White Witch of the Ditches. labyrinths and little petroglyph type things, the haunted chemo theater, the miracles at Chimeo Church, which is something I'm interested in. There's this tiny little church in northern New Mexico, and apparently miracles and blessings and all sorts of wonderful things happen there. It also talks about the Santa Fe courthouse ghost and a couple of other weird things. So, I write down to, it talks about the West Mesa bone collector serial killer, which I thought was interesting.
Yes, that's around here.
Yeah, it's pretty close to here. But the thing that caught my attention was the fact that in here there was something called the Great Aztec UFO Crash. And I had never heard of that before.
Yes.
Everyone has heard of Roswell. And those who are really into UFOs and aliens, they've also heard of Aurora, Texas, and they've heard of a couple other things. But this Great Aztec Crash, I hadn't even heard of until I was on Google Maps trying to find a place to camp.
Yeah, you were going to say until you're on Google Maps.
Crash.
Trying to find a place to crap.
Yeah, crash. I was going to say crash for some reason. And I had discovered some BLM land outside of Aztec.
BLM land is Bureau of Land Management land. Typically, you can stay for free at a severely discounted price for up to 14 days.
Yeah, which is really cool. So,
yes.
But when I clicked and dragged my marker there, it popped up with this weird, like, alien bike trails, alien crashes. And I'm like, so I had to look it up.
Yeah.
And when I looked it up, it tied into what I was reading in this book, which was the fact that in 1948, this super tiny town known as Aztec, New Mexico, had a crash, a supposed alien crash that was tracked by 3 different radar sites, 2 in New Mexico, 1 someplace else. The crash stirred up such a buzz, supposedly, in 1948, that the whole town came out, but by the time half the town had come out, there were already military trucks out there, supposedly, cleaning up the wreckage, because it kind of the crash kind of happened towards the high end of a canyon. So the debris pattern was very large, and supposedly there was a body and some other stuff, and a lot of glowing stuff in descriptions that you'll read.
Stuff.
Yeah. Now, the weird thing was, at this site there were supposedly men in black, people who said they were cops or military but never identified themselves, as well as someone named Dr. Gee. And this mysterious Dr. Gee was one of the people to first inspect the crash site and supposedly found some sort of special glowing battery power supply device. He took it and disappeared from the limelight, supposedly, only to come back a couple of years later when somebody got the scent of the story and be found trying to re-engineer this battery power supply device as a way to divine water or oil or gas on people's property. Now, after I want to say it was 2 different investigative journalists really dug into the story, they found that this was a big giant hoax, supposedly, created by this man who was going by the name Dr. Gee. Dr. Gee was actually using the basis of the UFO crash as a way to sell these fake gimmick boxes that just made a couple of mechanical noises or were set to beep every 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So he eventually faced fraud charges and stuff like that. But by then, somebody had already published an article about the whole thing. So much of what was said about the story has already been debunked, but there's still a plaque at Aztec. There's still a whole bike trail and hiking trail devoted to the supposed crash landing. And there are witnesses besides this Dr. Gee person that says, yes, in 1948, I saw this happen.
Yeah.
So the interesting fact was, between 2011 and 2013, there was a memo listed on the FBI's official Vault website, and it discussed a second-hand account of the UFO crash, including bodies, heavy, unseamed or unbolted crash materials, and glowing technology. Because of the interest in finding this memo or memorandum, the FBI was forced to address the memo, which is rare, but stated it was an uninvestigated event, much like the hundreds of events that they get reports on.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Yes. You know, Dave's from Farmington. Farmington's not that far from Aztec.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes. And he also told us how to pronounce La Llorona.
How?
That's how you pronounce it.
Say it one more time?
Nope, it's in the comments. You can say it. Yes.
Anyways.
Spinner says we need boxes that play nothing but Asian banjos.
Yeah.
Like every 2 minutes, instead of just playing like, you know, like a beep or whatever, every 2 minutes it does the whole, you know, I can't do it now.
No, we do want to. I can't say that, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yo. Rona. I don't know. Llorona?
Llorona? La Llorona? Okay.
Do.
Well, I do want to do a story or an upcoming podcast on that.
Yeah, we do. We need to do that. We're also going to do, like we say in Dulce Wars. Yes. Going to do that too, because Dulce is super creepy. Lots of creepy places in and around New Mexico that we're going to have to check out.
Yeah.
And, planning on doing like little mini documentaries and stuff like that. So, yes.
I was mentioning this book right here, which is completely awesome.
Quit showing the book.
I
Nobody
like
can
it.
see it.
It looks cool.
It looks weird when you do that. We're going to get a second monitor so that everybody could see.
Okay.
But I just haven't bought Llorona. Very nice. Llorona.
Okay.
La Llorona. Sweet.
Well,
kind of reminds me of that song "My Sharona" by The Knack.
The Knack.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those one-hit wonder kind of bands.
Well, if you don't want me to show the book, I'll at least provide the link for everybody. So.
Yeah. It just looks weird when you hold up a book.
Well.
So we don't know if they can see it.
You know, it talks. I can see it. I'm looking at the video right now. So.
Yeah, it's kind of far away though.
Nothing's gonna be perfect. So.
Oh yes, it will.
Anyways, this book discusses a lot of the creepy stuff that I want to look into. Like I was saying, it talks about the white woman witch. It also talks about the bone collector.
I don't think it's what she's called. She's not called a white woman witch.
What is it?
She's the Llorona thing.
I know, but
she's the white woman witch of the ditch. Is that what it is? I don't know what it is. Just, what is it? Hold on, we can say what it is called. What? It just sounds funny to me. Oh man, they're making a movie on this.
Yes, I know.
It's supposed to release. See, she has a bunch of different names. Like they're calling her like the Weeping Woman.
Yeah.
I think you said the wild woman of the ditch or something like that.
It was supposed to be like the wild white witch of the ditches.
Yeah.
So.
And she also is not just like, regional to like New Mexico, that kind of thing. Anywhere there's a body of water, she could be there. Well, okay, what are you mad at me now?
Yep.
Okay.
But I think the book is worth it. It does talk about the bone collector, which is what I was trying to get to, the West Mesa murders, as well as some other things. But some of this creepy stuff that we want to make mini documentaries on, things like Truth or Consequences and Elephant Butte. There's an element of...
You should tell them what's up with Elephant Butte, and nobody knows but us.
Elephant Butte and Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, are home of a serial killer. Supposedly one of the worst of them all, because they can't figure out how many people he murdered. He's known as the Toy Box Killer, or David Parker Ray. Yeah, let's see. Yep, David Parker Ray. He lived out towards Elephant Butte. They called him the Toy Box Killer because he actually had 2 trailers on his property where he would torture and unfortunately kill these people.
Oh yeah, El Cucuy, we gotta look that up too.
And he would actually record it. So despite the fact that they only linked 3 women's bodies, I think, as well as 2 additional murders, inconsequential, which is a terrible term, inconsequential murders, to him. They have tons and tons of videotape of just these horrific acts where the victim should be dead. So that's just, it's just traumatizing. And when we drove through there on our little mini vacation, you can't talk about it. You just can't.
Yeah, tell them why. Where did you go?
I went to
check us out. In some serious investigative type stuff. Where did you go?
I went to the Chamber of Commerce and Tourism building.
Yeah, because it's all the same place.
Yes. And while I tried to talk to them, like, I asked sincerely, what brings people here? And they kept talking about the lake, and this one steakhouse, which is great. I'm sure those are wonderful things, as well as a ghost town that's relatively close by. And I said, that's interesting. I have heard that people come here to go check out something called the Toy Box Killer or serial killer place. And she just shook her head, looked down, and said, we don't discuss that here. It's one bad apple. I'm like, it is one bad apple in a very small town. At which point,
one bad apple that killed a buttload of people.
I had to reel myself in so I could still get her to tell me stuff. And I got almost nothing. She only went on to speak to, oh, well, it was one bad apple, and, you know, all serial killers are on drugs, which if you are into psychology and things like that, you know, that's not necessarily the case.
No.
So the town attributes it to a petty crime and drug problem. One serial killer. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And I find it very interesting that you can still get to the property.
Really?
Google Maps shows you the address and shows you where it is. So
we might be taking a trip down south next weekend.
Google Maps will also give you the GPS coordinates of one of the body dump places. Yeah, but I think that's on private land.
Yeah, well, I'm not really interested in going to body dump places.
Yeah, I know. So, hi, Jay. Yeah.
Who?
Jay joined, and Jessica said, I know about the Toy Box Killer, disgusting stuff. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I used to work in online support at one of my old jobs, where I'd sit there and I'd answer people's questions via email, and it's kind of boring, especially when some of the people I would work with weren't very big conversationalists. So I would rent or buy audiobooks. I would even go to Barnes & Noble and dig through their like $5 bin and just grab stuff. And that was one of them, was the Toy Box Killer, true crime, blah, blah, blah. And I sat and I listened to that over the holiday season because I had to do a lot of overtime that year. And I just listened to this thing straight through, and I was riveted and also creeped out. And now I live in New Mexico, so yeah.
Yes, home of the Toy Box Killer.
Yeah.
Very
and see,
nice.
Dave makes a great point. That town is kind of weird. Anyway, that stuff went on for a while. Exactly, that is my point. You can't blame serial killer psychosis or severe depravity on just a drug problem.
Yeah.
You can't. Or petty crime, which kind of, I had to hold back on that. And you're also...
He's right, that town is completely weird. We were there, and... Okay, I'll give you an example. We sat in a parking lot while Omi went and got some supplies because I packed us for the trip and left a whole bunch of stuff here. I don't know what happened exactly, but...
oh, well, that's Deming, but...
No, but it's the entire area, though, man, because... In Deming, we sat there. I was in the parking lot because we had dogs in the van, AC on, because it was very hot. And man, I seen a ton of people, like 50, 60 people, you know, coming and going. Nobody had a smile on their face. Nobody smiled. Nobody laughed. It was just like, that whole place just feels so weird, man. And the people there, I don't know, man. It's like a cloud. And then even as we got like further into and drove through Hatch and got to see all the wonderful, you know, chili plants and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because it was like, wow, that's green stuff. And you could see where, you know, they get more rain for sure. And you can see that the farm and all that stuff, the whole farming thing is pretty big there.
And Hatch seemed nicer. It seemed like the little tiny haven.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we have jobs, we have water, we have the chilies, man.
Yeah.
Which I guess is pretty big. I mean, it is huge here.
Yeah.
And I guess it's that time too, because they started with the whole roasting. There's been a couple places doing it. I actually put a video up on it on the Instagrams showing people.
Yeah.
And just roasting, but yeah, that whole area is just kind of strange. So we definitely need to go back down.
Yeah, but and like when we were in when we stopped in Truth or Consequences, and I went into the little building for the tourism and Chamber of Commerce area. I didn't tell you. I first walked in, and my instincts when I walk into old buildings is always to go right for some reason. And it was, they haven't done anything to the inside. It was great. It was like all like pioneer era, like the heavy wood and the smell. But my instinct is to go right, and I look, and there's all these free resources. One was a free library, like these 3 big cardboard boxes with free books, and I was like, I don't mind free books. I try to like glance over everything, and like half of one whole box is nothing but drugs and recovery.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, and the other half was AA books, and then everything else was
also kind of sad.
Yeah, it was like cooking books. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna rifle through this, but right next to it were all these resources for see something, say something.
Wow.
Which kind of messed me up. I'm like, okay. And then I turn around, and there's the representative for the town.
It's like, hello.
Yes.
How can I assist?
Exactly.
It's super creepy. Like, yes, hello.
And that's exactly what happened. Children of the Corn weird, as Jay puts it.
Yes.
It's funny because, like, this building used to be, I think, a bank or a saloon. I can't tell.
Probably both.
But you could tell it had been separated into offices at one point. And that lady, who was not a small lady, was trying to hide behind a door so I wouldn't notice her at first, because she was trying to figure out if I was a tourist or if I was in there for some free AA books. So
you should have been like,
yeah.
Is it safe?
And then when I walked out, did you see the kids that were walking quickly behind me?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I bought my goods, I talked to the lady, and I walk out, and I see these people crossing the street. Well, as soon as they see me, they start crossing the street faster, and I can hear them behind me, and I stiffened up a bit and just walked a little faster to the van, hopped in the van, closed the door, locked it. Because it was a little...
Oh, wait, I did see those hipster doofus-looking dudes.
They weren't necessarily hipster.
They were about as hipster as they could get for that town.
Yeah, that's true. And one was a lady.
Oh, well.
So,
sorry.
yeah. But
sorry. Couldn't tell.
Hi, Jim. So... I'm sorry, Spooners, that you're going to get nightmares. But it's definitely something that we think people might be interested in watching. So...
Yeah.
We'll look into a possible documentary or mini doc or something.
Yeah, mockumentary.
Yeah, no, not a mockumentary. No.
That's one of the things that we're going to do is when we go to these places, you know, I have accumulated enough equipment. Why not? We're actually going to make like little documentaries. Little mini docs that we can put up there. And that's the other thing that brings us into the podcast. We just kind of talk about some things. We don't really go into details.
Yeah.
With this kind of stuff, but we will if that's something that you guys are interested in. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I don't know. It's kind of strange. Like, you know, some people might get turned off by that kind of thing. You know, it's kind of up to you guys. What do you guys think? Are you guys scared of like gory details or not? Are you afraid?
That's why I don't...
Are you scared?
I don't necessarily invite 2 of my friends to watch or listen to the podcast because they don't like spooky stuff at all.
Yeah, we're not spooky.
So...
Maybe spooky looking.
Yeah.
Kevin's here. Hello, Kevin. So, creepy.
Thanks, Seegers. I don't know.
Yeah, he said... Okay, so in our chat, Seeger says, I don't know. I see Omi coming. I may cross the street as well.
They were coming at me. Yeah, so, right. Yeah.
Coming to you.
Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah. But
we need some thinking music or something.
Thinking music. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Omi's coming down with the sickness.
I'm trying to podcast, but I have a pretty bad cold, so
yes,
I'm trying. Do you want to talk about the next one?
Nope. Why do I have to talk about the girl stuff?
This isn't girl stuff.
Yes, it is this girl stuff. Look, Republican House candidate claims that she was abducted by aliens, wins major newspaper endorsement.
Well, that's, I think the headline
She's
is
a girl, right?
Yes.
Didn't she get abducted out of a hair salon or something? Is this the one?
No, the name of the website is Salon.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll do it then. Okay, so this lady named Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera, she's a Republican vying to replace retiring Representative who cares, right? But anyway, she says that she was once abducted by aliens as a child.
Yes.
Okay, so several years before the Florida Republican announced her candidacy, she appeared on Spanish language television programs, mostly recently in like 2011, and detailed her experience with aliens.
Ooh.
Yeah, in one video that was uploaded to YouTube, Aguilera revealed she first encountered aliens when she was 7 after her parents asked her to go outside her home. Right? Mm-hmm. She said she was taken aboard a round saucer craft with 3 extraterrestrial creatures. 2 women and a man. They were tall, full-figured, and blonde.
Oh, what are those aliens? The
Pleiadians.
blonde.
I believe that'd be Pleiadians. Pleiadians, please.
Yeah.
For 200.
Nordic aliens, Pleiadians.
Yeah, Pleiadians. See.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So.
look at that.
Huh?
Figured that out, right?
Yeah.
So, they wore robes. They spoke to her telepathically. She boarded a spacecraft where she claims that the aliens told her God is a universal energy, not a person. It's in everything. God talks to people, and they understand it in different ways, but there's only one religion. Okay. Is this going to be one of those things where she's like, all aliens are good. They're here to help you self-actualize yourself.
I find it funny that in politics today, it doesn't matter the candidate, like Republican, Democratic, Green Party, Libertarian, whatever. The moment the alien topic is brought up, they are completely discredited. Completely. So the fact that that's happened, is she going to lose this or what?
I think in today's day and age,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's got to worry about it. What are you pointing at?
I hear it playing music.
I'm playing music.
Oh,
See, look, thinking music.
Oh.
It has 27 seconds left.
okay.
Yeah. So I think in this day and age, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we have a president who's not exactly the most groomed for the position, right?
Yeah.
And we've had other candidates in the past, and it seems like, you know, the air of don't say anything weird, don't say anything crazy, or you won't get elected is kind of gone away, man. At least I would think so.
But like Jay points out, publicity stunt lull, you know?
Maybe,
and I agree.
but maybe she really believes that. But I mean, if she did all this before she was going into politics, then is it still a publicity stunt?
I think I agree to an extent, but I also think it's a deliberate because she did this years ago. I mean, the last video
2011.
is 2011. Someone else is dredging this up. And I have found that when a candidate, somebody running for office, whenever there is something in their past where they claim to accept or believe or indulge in the idea of extraterrestrials, it discredits them. It discredits them to potential voters, to other party members.
Well, yeah, anything they can do these days to discredit your credibility, of course.
Wasn't there, like, the first time when I think Obama was running, wasn't there a presidential candidate that believed in aliens or claimed to have seen aliens? He was like a short dude with black hair. I see. That's how bad it is. That dude, all I remember is that he claimed he totally believed in extraterrestrials and had his own extraterrestrial experience. I don't remember anything else about him except for that. He was basically discredited, and like weeks later, he pulled out of the race. So
it's funny because the Florida Republican didn't respond to Salon's request for an interview.
Yeah.
But she recently told the Associated Press that her account of abduction by aliens does not define her. It has nothing to do with what I have done.
See?
It happened when I was 7. And I'm so proud of the Herald and what they did. It was a newspaper article that said something. So, well, that's part of it, too. And it seems like in this day and age, you kind of have to apologize.
Yeah.
You do something when you're like 6 and you're like, oh, I got to apologize for that. Otherwise, people turn on you, man. It's just kind of like...
Well, they have that...
you know, and everybody has to be... Okay, like this would happen to the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy.
James Gunn.
Yeah, a bunch of stupid stuff when he was younger. And he was in his 20s. But
I mean
trying to get a rise, trying to get a reaction, trying to get, trying to get publicity. Mm-hmm. And it kind of worked for him. And now, somebody brings it up again and they're like, they fired him for it. It's like... I think in a lot of situations it's going a little too far.
Agreed.
But, you know, again, who determines how far things go these days?
And see, that's the thing. Who determines how far things go these days? Certain things are becoming more accepted, but the one thing that's always stayed true with me, or that I have noticed, is that the alien topic just completely discredits you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are.
And this is part of it, too.
Yeah.
Because Rodriguez Aguilar's daughter, who is Bettina Agen, I can't say her last name. She's a political strategist and former director of the Hispanic Outreach for the Republican National Convention, Committee. And she's married to Jared Agen, who's the Vice President Pence's Deputy Chief of Staff and Communications Director.
Oh.
And Jared Agen did not respond to Salon's request for comment, asking if the White House will endorse Rodriguez Aguilera ahead in Tuesday's primary. So it's kind of like Salon brought this up to sort of besmirch her a little bit,
and then
had to, and then threw it out there. Well, the reason, hey, look, she's married to the, the Vice President's Deputy Chief of Staff and Communications Director.
Yeah. So
there you go. There's when you read a news article and they bring that up, and that's the last thing they brought up, is that she has family in government, and they're related to, the Vice President, or as far as not related to, but they
have a relationship
with that. So there you go. So the Salon is support our award-winning independent journalism.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I just find it interesting. It was a tactic used, by one party, quickly adopted by another party, and now it's just a tactic used by everybody.
Yeah.
To basically.
Well, that's the tactic we were talking about.
Yeah.
You don't have to prove a damn thing. You just need to say it, and then the other side, whoever gets accused of whatever it is, has to spend time, energy, resources, money, all of that stuff to try to defend it, whether it's true or not. You just throw it out there and see what happens, and then you move on to the next thing, and you just throw that out there, and you keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah. And
eventually, you hope for something to stick.
No.
It's almost like you're out there in a court of public opinion, right?
Yeah.
And, it's what's funny is and this is what I think President Trump is doing. I think he kind of does the same thing, because this has been a tactic that's been employed by the left and right side for a long time in politics. But typically the president seems to try to stay out of it. In general, the presidency has since he kind of sort of stay out of this sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Not Trump, though. He just throws it out there, too, and lets them fight it out. And it's just kind of like, it's silly. It's very silly.
And I think we're looking at this.
It seems to work, though, to create all the hate and discontent.
Yeah. I think we are looking at this from
and animosity and stuff. So
broad, non-paranormal perspective, because that's what I wanted to do for this article. But if you do look at it from a paranormal,
it has a parallel for sure.
Wouldn't it be interesting if, like, an actual alien or alien abductee or alien hybrid made it into office?
Hey. According to what people believe, and it kind of goes along with the comment that Dave made in our chat, you never know when our reptilian overlords from the center of the earth are listening. There's people that say that Hillary, reptilian. Obama, reptilian. That seems
Justin
like
Bieber,
reptilian. Michael Jackson, reptilian. I don't know if he's reptilian, but he was in Men in Black when he like an alien or something. Are you gonna look him up? Michael Jackson, reptilian?
No, he was something else. They actually claimed.
Oh,
list of things.
Reptilian.
Yeah. Wow, I don't know.
So it kind of makes sense for some of these people. Sort of ties all what Jay is saying in our chat.
Yeah.
And candidates say they are going to disclose every election. Yeah, disclose everything. See what happens, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's an article, How to Spot Reptilians Running the U.S. Government by The Atlantic.
There we go. That's what we need right there. You can put a link in the comments.
Okay. Oh, and then right below it is the one I actually need. 10 alien reptoid celebrities.
There you go. So. That one's got to be for real. Let's see what that one says.
Let's see. Well, I'll throw this into the comments.
We need to find some alien reptilian music and stuff. Let's just do here's what Saturn sounds like.
Jay says that Justin Bieber is a gray, and with them little boy arms, I agree. So,
dang.
What?
Little boy arms, all right.
So, okay. Oh. Reptoids have been blamed for everything from 9/11 to the disappearance of Flight 370 to causing... Oh, wow. I'm not even going to read that. That's not appropriate.
There are several theories that state our leaders and persons of influence are reptilians.
Yes.
That's a quote from Dave.
Barack Obama was the number one. Jack Nicholson.
I can see that.
Scooby-Doo.
How is Scooby-Doo a reptilian? He's a cartoon.
I know. I don't understand. According to his own cartoon series, Scooby-Doo is actually descended from an ancient race of otherworldly Sumerian gods called the Anunnaki.
So Scooby-Doo is an Anunnaki.
Okay. Huh. And this theory was started by New Age philosopher Zecharia Sitchin.
I like what Dave says. Reptoid sounds racist.
Nikola Tesla was a reptilian.
Sure he's not a Sumerian?
See, I would think more along the lines of a Sumerian.
Well, allegedly, from one of the books I've been looking at, the moon wasn't here. It was brought here. Mm-hmm. It was manufactured somewhere else and was actually brought here. And 2 reptilian brothers went and got it.
Oh.
Because they started to terraform the planet to make the planet more inhabitable for them.
Oh, well.
And that there wasn't a moon for a long time, and the Earth was pretty much covered like in a fog, and it was really sort of jungly and sort of like a tropic thunder. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
a famous Albuquerquean or Burkean was a reptilian.
Who?
Former beloved member of Albuquerque's homeopathic community, Attn Greg.
That's totally a reptilian name.
He ran a fraudulent medical business peddling alternative treatment for cancer while claiming to have numerous fake doctorates. He was also implicated in the murder of his ex-wife, Girly Chu Hasenkopf, a Malaysian immigrant who had come to America to marry him.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, here's a good comment.
Yeah.
I recently heard that the moon was hollow.
Oh.
That's true. When they actually dropped the booster off one of the moon missions to get off the moon so they could make the return trip, they left a limb there and all that stuff. When they dropped that booster, after it lifted them to get them out, when it hit, because it just drops, it just crashed, right?
Yeah.
When it crashed into the moon like reverberated, in other words, vibrated at a specific tone for nearly 3 hours.
Huh.
Yeah, and when you do that here, you pick up the seismic reading and it reverberates for like 15 minutes because, see, the Earth is not hollow.
Yeah.
See? So there's all sorts of these little weird moon facts that we're going to talk about because I've been kind of putting together some stuff to talk about, like 77 different weird moon facts you can't believe, but I don't have 77, I only have like 12. So I got a long way to go. So.
Well, there's
Hasenpfeffer. Burkeño. Hasenpfeffer. It's not a moon, it's a space station. That's what Jay says.
Oh.
You can't just be making some random statements, Jay. And we also have Jay Melvin watching. Hey, Jay. How's it going?
So,
how are you doing?
Yeah.
Sounds legit.
Then there's 3 modern celebrities that have been attributed as being reptilians or hybrids. Lord Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah, and Angelina Jolie, all because all 3 of them have unflattering photos in which their eyes look weird. Whether it means they're bloodshot or maybe they're tinged a certain way, but somehow the direction the camera shot their photo makes it look as though they have reptile eyes. So
I guess that's better than having Betty Davis eyes.
Yeah. And then Sean Connery, George Lazenby, and Roger Moore are all...
So all the James Bond people are reptoids? Exactly.
That's what they're saying. So, yeah. David Icke, generally acknowledged...
Really?
Yes. He generally acknowledged to be the creator of the reptoid philosophy, believes the first 3 James Bonds are of the reptilian conspiracy. Given that Connery's name is an anagram for on every screen, clearly this is all the evidence we need.
That's right. You don't need any more than that. Come on, David Icke.
Yeah.
How dare you? Yes. And how does he saying he's the one that started the reptoid theory?
I don't know.
Not even close, man. Even the Sumerians
because he built a crappy website where he ordained himself
even
as
listed in the cuneiform and stuff the Sumerians had, and even the Mesopotamians who didn't use cuneiform, they reference Sumerian lords and gods
Anderson
and
Cooper.
teachers. Is a reptilian?
Yes.
I knew it.
Because apparently a low-res photo of him where his tongue has a slight divot is a split tongue.
Oh,
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah.
See, that's what they do. See, they take and they sensationalize these weird things, right? Like crashes and like alien crashes and sightings. They make movies and stuff out of them,
Yeah.
almost like a false flag type thing, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens? Because remember, there was a show that was on the 80s, or it came out in the, I think it was the 80s,
Yeah.
called V, where the
Oh,
visitors
yeah.
came, and they were all, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, they're all reptilians, and they were here to eat us. And they were like, oh, we're just here for your water. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Maybe they did that, or maybe they're doing that because the theory is that sooner or later, when the reptilians do get seen
Yeah.
or announced or whatever, like when Admiral Byrd flew over was it South Pole, or I can't remember, North Pole or South Pole, right, and disappeared for like 3 hours
Yeah.
because he was in the center of the earth where he met these peoples.
And then the last paragraph of this article says, do you really need any more proof? Anderson Cooper, he's a Vanderbilt, one of the oldest reptilian families.
I believe that.
He is a Vanderbilt. That is true.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were reptiles at all.
Well, we're not saying unkind words about Bandicoot Cumbersnatch,
Yeah. I'm not.
so that's good.
Yeah.
And his book, The Robots' Rebellion, I think that's David Icke's book.
Oh, gosh.
He popularized the reptilian theories in pop culture. Okay, well, that's probably true.
Yeah.
I can see him doing that. That's about it. David Icke, weirdo. It's kind of funny to call people that like the same weird stuff that we do weirdo. They've done way more with it than we have. So that's about all it is. Yep. All right, so what we're going to do when we come back after this break, we're going to keep talking about the stuff we're talking about. Do you know what's coming up next?
A rant?
All right.
Yeah.
So sounds good to me. So we're going to take a second and we'll be right back. Speaking of rant, we couldn't even hear it. Where'd it go?
That's what I was saying.
That's strange. But see, the music you could hear, listen, well, you know why? I bet it's because a Reptoid turned it down. Nice. Let's do this one. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back.
Audible is an audio entertainment that entertains, educates, and inspires. For you, the listeners of the CreepGeeks podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/cheapgeek. Again, that's audibletrial.com/cheapgeek for your free audiobook.
And we're back. Thanks for listening to Creep Geeks podcast. I know I was going to do that, so appreciate you tuning in on this Sunday.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of people in the chat. Just like to say hello to Brittany and both Jays and Jessica. And who else? And Dave. And Brian. And Scott. And that's who else can I see here? I don't know who else is here. Kitty's here. Hello, Kitty. Kevin's here. Jacob's here. We have a bunch of people listening. It's very much appreciated. I do appreciate you tuning in on your Sunday. Lots of things you could be doing, but we're glad you're doing this. And we're back. Okay, so here we go. Is it legal? It's the question, right?
Uh-huh.
Next thing we're going to talk about is a homeless woman who sets up makeshift camper near Albuquerque Brewery. This is causing a problem. Yeah, and we're going to throw the link in there so you can take a look and see.
Yeah.
Because, it doesn't look as,
My thing is...
That's a pretty serious looking vehicle she's got there.
And it kind of covers up...
With a gross pee bucket hanging out of the back. That's what that is.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's where it drains.
It covers up a major, it's hard to see all of the brewery with this vehicle parked in front of it.
It's a huge vehicle.
It's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
So Jacob's like, me? No. But this article showed up on our local news, and it's basically a feud has escalated between an Albuquerque brewery and a homeless woman who parked her makeshift camper steps outside the business. The camper has been parked outside of Rio Bravo Brewing Company, located on 2nd and McKnight, for nearly 2 weeks, according to Dennis Baker, who owns the brewery.
Yeah.
Baker said the overflow from nearby homeless camp is driving customers away. It's kind of scary to come down there sometimes because we're approached by the homeless. The tipping point for Baker was when a makeshift camper equipped with solar panels, generators, and even a propane tank was parked curbside for at least 13 days.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yes. Jessica Sims is the owner of the camper. She says she is homeless and has lived at Coronado Park with her 2 dogs for about a month. And then she says, do I need to be protesting? Not really, but I can. I would like to see a little better treatment out here. However, Baker says both business owners and police have their hands tied. While the traffic code in Albuquerque outlaws overnight parking in a business district, there is no rule that prohibits the makeshift camper from remaining parked where it is during regular business hours. And she's like, there's gotta be, Baker says there's gotta be an ordinance, hoping for some relief before she is forced to make some tough decisions regarding her business. And the worst case scenario is that we close down and we move to Los Lunas or out of Bernalillo, where they have a little, or out of Bernalillo? I think the article is supposed to be to that one, where they have a little more control. City officials say that they plan to reach out to the owner of the camper to address the concerns. They also plan to see what kind of help or services they might provide her. So they are going to provide this homeless person with help and services so that they'll stop parking in front of the business owner, who is the one who is being affected.
Oh, no. So, Kitty says, I know her.
Oh, no. I'm sure this is a wonderful person, but there has to be the option to move. Previously in the podcast, we were talking about...
All she has to do technically is move across the street.
Okay.
And then she can move back again.
Yeah.
So what's the reason why she's on that particular side of the street?
She just stays there. And so my problem is, again, yes, this person is homeless. Yes, they need help.
Well, technically, she's not homeless.
I know, that's another thing.
She's just a van dweller.
Yeah, she's just a van dweller. But there's a business. There is a very popular business right there. The Rio Bravo, brewery. Very popular, very nice place. Its business is being affected. And it's also causing,
Well, she's got a lot of nerve, first off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places that don't allow living in vehicles, okay? So the fact that they're actually letting her stay there, even though she's technically living in a vehicle, that should be applauded, the fact that Albuquerque is that nice.
Yeah.
All right? The second thing is that it's Okay, so she's down on her luck. She's living in this makeshift homemade. This thing did not get put together overnight. This is something that she had to work at to make, and I get it. Okay, so she's homeless, or she says she's homeless, even though she has a shelter with propane for heat.
Yeah.
A pee bucket, solar panels. So she's obviously got power, a panel on stuff, and she's like, "Do I need to protest?" No, you're lucky your ass doesn't get locked up. Is really what it boils down to, and I get it. But see, there's
got to be some common courtesy.
Yeah, and she doesn't have it. She's like, she's been treated poorly. How does she figure? Go to California, man. They will lock you up.
California has very strict rules. In fact, you can't even park in places where 16 months ago you were able to park overnight as a van dweller.
That's crazy.
As a camper, and it.
Yeah, see, it's like what Patrick's saying in the chat.
Yeah.
BLM is 14 days and you have to move. So what makes you think she could just park downtown?
Thank you.
On the street, and here's the thing. I get when people have circumstances and problems, but it seems, however this is written, I think, is making it to where it seems that this person is ungrateful.
Yeah.
For whatever. I don't know. Maybe we're seeing it wrong. And Kitty says gas is expensive and that thing is heavy. I bet it is. It looks super heavy.
Yeah.
So, okay, Kitty. So if you know this person and you're in the chat right now, are they crusty? Are they just a salty, crusty, person or what?
Yeah.
We
have a fan going. It's a little loud. So.
Who? Is somebody complaining?
No, I am.
Well,
so
nobody know that until you said something.
And Brittany pointed out, great point. Tell her to go park at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because this is one of the few places that still allow.
Oh, Walmart kicked her out.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so Kitty said that Walmart kicked her out.
Yeah.
See, and that's just it. If you break the rules and you ruin it for everybody, this is kind of where it starts. This is what happens. Because as soon as they get her out of there and get it all figured out, this is on the docket for next voting or lawmaking or whatever section they call it out here.
Yeah.
Where they're going to make changes. And, and like say, maybe you wanted to stay for a day or two downtown because you're exploring, you're doing Old Town, you're doing all that stuff. Now you can't, or you won't be able to because of people like that. And, and technically, this is what everybody doesn't like. If you look at the picture, it's a thrown together thing. It's made out of plywood. It's not sightly looking at all, and it looks like this is going to be trouble. And nobody wants that. It's the whole not in my backyard, the whole NIMBY thing, right? Yeah. Nobody wants what it looks to be, a traveling shitbox that's going to take away your business. Because, if you pulled up and you were like, I don't know if I want to get, you know what I mean? It turns people away. But it's like, remember we went and we drove our van and we pulled into that spot to stay for a couple days. And technically we weren't allowed to. Remember, we were going to go and we pulled in, excuse me, and we had no problems at all. And the ranger guy, because another van pulled in.
Yeah.
Right? It looked like a serial killer van. They had all their crap all over the place. And we were there for a couple hours, had no problems at all. These people pulled in within 10 minutes. That ranger was like, you guys got to go.
Yeah.
Get out. Go. Didn't even wave to us on the way by, like, see you later, because we had the big, clean, white van. It was obvious we weren't like, you know what I mean? We were put together. Whereas these people look like they had all their possessions in garbage bags and were like rooting through the garbage bags to try to figure. And who knows if that was like a bad situation for them or whatever. But you got to look like you're not there to cause problems, man. I hate to say it, but that's just how it is.
Kitty's like, she is crusty as hail.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. See,
yeah. And that's the thing. Well,
like what Brittany says, y'all live in the desert. There's plenty of space.
That's true.
Absolutely
and
true.
Here's another thing. I know, like Kitty was saying, the Walmart on San Mateo doesn't allow parking. I kind of know that area because I used to work a few blocks down from there. There are places off 2nd Street that she could park overnight without issue. In fact, there's a couple of places towards that industrial area that Dave is talking about where I used to see a van parked for a freaking month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick brings up a good point. Walmart is cracking down on the overnight parking nationwide. That's absolutely true. And you know why?
Why?
It's because of people like her.
Oh.
It is. It's totally because of people like her. When you remember that Walmart we pulled into and we were just traveling, right? We pulled in to get something and there was a dude outside taking a shower. Or did you not see that? I'm like, what are you doing, man? I mean, you could stay overnight, but they're not saying, hey, you're not supposed to be living here. And tell you a little secret, if you are going to travel and you need a place to stay, a couple different places will still let you park, whether it's overnight for a short duration. What's the name of that buffet place that everybody likes? It's not really a buffet.
Golden Corral?
No.
No?
It's the other one. Big rocking chairs out front, country store type thing. What's that place
Cracker
called?
Barrel.
Okay, Cracker Barrel let you stay in the parking lot.
Casinos.
Casinos will let you stay in the parking lot. You just got to let them know. That other place, it's a sporting goods place.
Yeah.
Bass Pro Shops will, and the other one, what's the other one that's not as big as Bass Pro Shops? Cabela's definitely will.
This might also help her.
Sam's Club, which is part of is part of Walmart. You can stay in Sam's Club's parking lots too. You can stay in truck stops because they let you if you tell them, hey. Where else? Rest areas.
Kind of close to that area, the Elena Galagos area. While they don't allow overnight camping, they will, if you talk to them, they will lock you in for the night.
Well, they tell you straight up, we lock the gates at night, and if you're stuck here, you're stuck here.
And then something to help.
And you take $1, right? It costs you $1 to use that park.
Yeah.
So effectively, for $30, you could stay for 30 nights.
Yeah. And this speaks to a larger
crazy?
problem. Kitty mentioned she tries to park near social services so she doesn't use the gas, and I understand that. The one thing I would say about this vehicle...
Gross. Yeah. Brittany says crusty grilled cheeses with a side of dog hair.
Because this woman has 2 huskies, which is why I'm like, get her butt to Elena Galagos. Also, there is a website run by somebody I follow, High Tech Homeless. It's freecampsites.net. It'll show her every free campsite in the area.
Yeah, and those guys are actually pretty cool. I've talked to that dude quite a bit, actually, about bands and all that stuff. So,
but
oh yeah, REI will not let you do that. Don't try it.
Yeah, they used to. REI also used to allow dogs, but you know what? One bad apple spoils it.
Brittany says that she needs to volunteer her services to local parks in exchange for utilities. Sure, if they'll let her, but if she's too crusty and mean, she's gonna be scaring off the people because they want park people to be really nice.
Yeah, that's called camp host.
Yeah,
and I've already complained about 2 camp hosts in the past 2 years.
Yeah,
but.
One of them was because he didn't give us the Wi-Fi password, bastard. We didn't know there was Wi-Fi until we were leaving. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That dude made a snap decision, decided he didn't like us, and was like, well, screw you guys. Well, joke's on you. Yeah. I guess.
But definitely, camp host, that would be another great service that she could provide because Albuquerque has a partnership with the state and federal parks in the area that would allow her, options like that. But my big thing is, yeah, she's trying the best she can. I understand. It's not that bad of a vehicle. It just looks a little rough. It looks like a...
and see, Patrick brings up something.
Looks like a sketch food truck.
Yeah, it looks like something that somebody put together to live in it.
I just don't like the graffiti on the side of it. Yeah. That is distracting. That is where I kind of draw the line.
And Patrick brings up there are websites devoted to stealth camping. Absolutely true. Yep. But she will never be able to do that in that vehicle that she has.
If you took the website off, it could pass as a work truck. Because the website is called walmartsucks.website. So, and then sucks is slang and used to, I can't even read that last part. So, if you took the graffiti off, they might have a little less problem.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
I kind of feel that she is taking advantage of some of the ordinances. Yes, I understand she is down and out. Yeah. But move it across the street, please.
Move somewhere.
Move down the street. In fact, if you, let's see, gosh. Rio Bravo Brewing. I'm trying to look at the map because I know where this place is. Yeah. Oh.
No.
She could park down Haynes. And on the other side, on the frontage road of 2nd Street. That's another place.
There's probably something in the area that makes her want to stay. Yeah. Showers, bathroom, who knows. So. But yeah, I don't like when people wreck it for other people. And we're kind of blasting on this lady. I don't like the gall. Like, you should treat me better. It's like, you're not supposed to be here. Yeah. And if you're not supposed to be here, you're lucky they're being as nice as they're being. Yeah. Because they could easily pack you up and send you off somewhere. Like, guess who's going to California? Well, see, that's the thing. Put her on a bus and send her on her way.
When we were relatively naive, not you, but at least me, naive East Coaster, and I come out here, we saw all these van dwellers going to the West Coast, going to California, living in Oregon, going to Washington. And slowly, each one of those states is starting to boot these people out. Yeah. except for New Mexico. And New Mexico's biggest issue is they don't have an ordinance in place to clearly define van dwellers, homeless, campers, derelict
part
vehicles.
of it is that not everybody wants to go to New Mexico.
That's true.
Because they're like, oh, because we're all van dwellers go. We got to go somewhere pretty.
Let's go to Utah.
Yeah, let's go to Arizona. Let's go to Utah.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Stay away.
I don't
Mexico's got some relatively cool looking places.
I feel it's weird. I understand there are many different sides to this story. Yes, she needs help. Yes, Albuquerque needs to put some rules in place. Yes, it's probably going to be on the voting ballot.
Oh, it is
soon. But also,
the mayor already flew to like Texas to go see what they're doing with their homeless camps. Because like what Dave brings up at a chat is like there's a large park 2 blocks from there that has a large homeless problem.
Yeah, and that's
In California, is what Jay brings up, is trying to get rid of the homelessness, and people are going to California to be homeless, right? But they're they're passing laws and ordinance saying that you are not allowed to live in your vehicle. Like you're not allowed, cannot live in a vehicle.
Yeah.
Even if it's a motorhome, no, cannot. So even if you're living there legally in your motor vehicle, like traveling, no, not in California, it's against the law.
And Colorado already has some problems with homeless, so it's
yeah. And you know who's going to be next?
Us.
No, Asheville, North Carolina, that whole area. Oh yeah, that's where they're going the same thing. Anywhere the hips or doofuses are going is going to be a problem. See, because the problem with the hips or doofuses is, you know, they're not, for whatever reason they're doing what they're doing, but see, that's not the real problem. The real problem is like people like this lady who are obviously there because they have either no other place to go or they're kind of stuck, right?
Yeah.
Hipster doofus, like, yeah, we're going to be in a van, we're going to ride around, it's going to be great. They're going to go somewhere else, right? They're going to get run off, and it's obvious they're not serious about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't want to say it's a phase, but they're not in it for the long haul, right? There's people that are stuck and they have no other recourse.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that wind up causing problems because the hipster doofus will just leave.
Yeah.
So
they'll go get a job at BuzzFeed or something.
Yeah. I'm going to start my cool Instagram channel. It's going to be great. So
yeah,
that sounds like something I should do.
But
yeah.
My concern is, I think the article's written from the wrong perspective. I think it should be written from the perspective of, yes, let's help this person, but let's take a look at ourselves as a city. Because why are we so focused on this person when it's actually damaging business and economy, which we desperately need in this area of Albuquerque?
Yeah. Well, and also...
I mean, because now this business is threatening to move to Los Lunas or Bernalillo, you know?
Yeah.
And that sucks. So...
Well, it does, but at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this stuff. And it's like what Patrick's saying. It's like tiny homes are cropping up in some cities. Why not here? And... You know, hey, Pat, our last podcast, we did talk about that.
Yeah.
And it's something that's trying to be, it's been put to city council and it had some public opinion. When was it? It was like 3 weeks ago. And Brittany brings up something too where she says, true. And she says she had a guy ask me, okay. She says, I had a guy ask me to buy him ice cream in Black Mountain. I said, buy your own damn ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
And objectivity is fleeting these days. That is very true, Dave.
So my biggest...
and there you go. Yeah. Join the podcast. You can join in with the chat. And we'll talk about you on the air.
I mean, Kitty, if you want, I can write down some websites to help this lady out. But the objectivity is...
It sounds to me like she doesn't want help.
Yeah.
I think she just wants to stay where she is because she's comfortable or whatever.
Or because, you know, she can't afford the gas right now, which means she needs some help in that perspective, but... You know.
Well, they're trying to get her some help, but I mean, that thing is a huge Dodge. It's a Ram, like 3500. It's a dually.
Yeah.
So it's at least a 2500. So it's got to be, God. It's more than likely a 3500. And we had one of those. We had a Dodge Ram van, 3500, 2002 for a long time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take that much gas. They actually get better gas mileage and all that stuff, but she's probably got the diesel. And that thing probably weighs about 9 million pounds on the back of it. So
less upset.
Actually, Jacob has a big Dodge Ram van, 3500 now.
Yeah.
So
I would be less upset with this truck if maybe you could close the lid on those poop containers hanging out there. And if you took the graffiti off.
There's no consideration for where they are. I mean, nobody wants to be uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And seeing things like a poop bucket outside or a pee bucket or something like that, you know, stuff, just awful looking stuff. It's like you're one step outside a cardboard box, right?
Yes.
And nobody wants to see that because it's unsightly. You know, you want to go have your little brewery experience, and Dave says their beer is not that good anyway. And I would agree with him.
They had a cider at one point.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
Yeah, that's all.
The point is that if you want to do something like this, and you show up looking like that with this homemade trailer looking thing and you look like you're up to no good, you're going to cause problems. You're going to get kicked away.
Well, the two huskies, they're probably making some noise, poor hot dogs, but...
And it's got to be hot as fire, but she's got like 300 watts of solar panel on top of that thing, so I don't think she's hurting that bad. Well, she's probably got a YouTube channel.
We should look that up later. But I can actually read this in Mr. Hansen's voice. She is past 14 days. Move.
Exactly. Move.
And yeah,
go on.
I didn't get to that point earlier, but yes, the whole BLM thing, that's the thing that bugs me. You can stay for free on BLM land. There's BLM land just west. So...
Yeah, Scott says, let's not disrespect and call it by its name, please. Hashtag Great White Buffalo. That is true.
Yes.
So, yeah. Jacob has the Great White Buffalo.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Taking good care of it. So.
Hope so. He looks like he is. He looks like he should be taking care of something goodly. I don't know.
So, yeah, that was a pretty long rant. I feel bad about it now. But, I mean, kind of hit close to home. I had no idea.
Instead of being like, oh, we should help her, like, shut up, get away, move. You're ruining things for everyone else.
Well,
It's kind of true, though. I mean, it kind of is what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless of the situation you're in, when you make other people uncomfortable about your situation, eventually they don't want to be a part of it. Regardless of whatever it is.
I guess I'm just in like a completely bleeding heart. You're trying to help.
Are you trying to help her? I don't want to help her at all. I'm looking at that going, okay, no. There's a whole bunch of crazy involved in all of this.
I would like fairness as well as some form of help provided to everybody.
She has had some help, but there are a lot of issues there. See? And look, Adrian says, hey, Adrian.
Hi.
There's a woman in Albuquerque that lives out of her truck and parks in the Starbucks parking lot. I believe it's on San Mateo. And Jacob says, indeed I am. So it looks like he is sticking with the Great White Buffalo. Yeah. Very nice. Or I'm reading that quote or the chat wrong. Who knows? And Adrian also says, right next to Taco Cabana.
Oh.
If you don't know what a Taco Cabana is, it's kind of like an adult Taco Bell.
It's a grown-up Taco Bell.
Yeah, you can buy like Taco Bell type stuff and a beer.
Yeah.
Or two.
But I think the quality's far better. So...
that's all subjective.
But Starbucks is another one. If you talk to them, they are actually rolling out policies, except for in California, where you can park overnight. And if you are either homeless or
hipster enough,
or a veteran in need, which is kind of nice.
Oh, sweet! I could be a veteran in need of a cup of coffee.
You are allowed either, depending on the location, either a full cup of water, ice water, or a small coffee. And you are allowed to use the restroom without question for as long as you need, because that turned into an issue. So,
well, yeah, they tried to tell these black dudes they couldn't use the bathroom.
Oh, but what wasn't talked about was right after that incident, a veteran who was down on his luck was denied access to a bathroom, and this was someone who actually suffered some sort of gastro injury. Yeah. In the war.
So Brittany says, Chipotle. Well, it's kind of like Chipotle, except it has less salmonella. Chipotle has less flavor.
Yeah. God, there's no way to explain Taco Cabana to our friends back home at all.
It's like better than Chipotle.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Dave says, I hate talking to people at Starbucks. Each size is large. That's right.
No, it's...
So Mr. Seegers is leaving. See you later. Thank you for stopping by the podcast. Very much appreciated. So, hold on. We got a little going away for you, Mr. Scott.
Total bullshit.
There's the rant for you, sir.
We should end the rant, though. Yeah. I don't know. It's a bad situation.
I don't even know what we're talking about. We're talking about stuff.
Yeah.
It is a bad situation, and Albuquerque's had some issues because, like, they tried to do the tiny home thing to set up a community for homeless people. And using the tiny home sort of community thing. And they really got some kickback from the people. Yeah. They were like, I don't want this in my neighborhood. You know, you already got a tent city. Why don't you fix the tent city before you create another tent city? Yeah. Right? So anyway, it's kind of a weird thing. So speaking of weird, you gonna do this one?
Oh yeah. So getting back on topic, kind of, since this was supposed to be a UFO and aliens type podcast edition. The Russian maker of the AK-47 just unveiled a golden robot straight out of Aliens. Yeah. And it looks exactly like, well, almost exactly like the Aliens robot. So, so I'm going to put that link in there.
And when you say robot from Aliens, which one are you talking about?
The one that I think towards the end she was using.
That was actually a loader.
Oh,
right?
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
It was like a forklift that you could step into and move stuff around.
Yes. So this Russian maker of the AK-47 unveiled a new golden robot straight out of the movie Aliens on Tuesday at the Army 2018 Forum in Moscow. The promising goal of using the anthropomorphic complex is to solve engineering and combat tasks, said in a short statement translated from Russian.
What? That looks more like a robot that's straight out of RoboCop.
Kinda, yeah. The robot's capabilities are still limited, but an improvised version is likely to be displayed at the Army 2020 Forum, according to a Russian media outlet.
Dang.
So, yeah, here's what we know about the robot. It's 13 feet tall, weighs 4.5 tons, and has apparently been named Igorek. So, yes. It is operated by one or more controllers who sit behind the tinted window cabin, which is said to be bulletproof.
That's nice.
From the cabin, they can control the claws, which are designed to be able to hold weapons, but honestly, they look like they're loaders, you know, like you were
big
saying.
Pinchers.
Yeah.
Pick things up.
Now, while Kalashnikov...
No, stop. It's Kalashnikov.
Kalashnikov
Yeah, Kalashnikov.
is a legitimate company.
It is.
Russia consistently makes wild claims about its
Kalashnikov.
hardware that don't hold up.
Yeah.
So who knows what will come of the robot.
Fun fact, Kalashnikov also created an electric car.
Oh.
Yeah, I read about that. I was going to put that in the podcast for next time. You know, because they did create the AK-47. Or AK-47. I mean, AK-47. Reading something else here. Yeah.
But to me, this honestly just looks like a display.
It
or
doesn't
concept.
look too mobile.
Yeah.
It looks like if you got in there and started walking around, you'd fall over. Its feet look too small for what it is. And who knows how it actually walks?
It looks
got
like
the
if
knee
you bought
backwards
like one of
sort of
those models of something actual. So yeah, but I thought it was cool. And the fact that the first thing they went to was, oh, that's that, you know, that robot from Aliens. Yeah.
I don't like it.
You don't?
No, I don't think it's nearly
functional.
Yeah, I don't think it's nearly as functional as they say it is because it looks too top heavy. And even if it was going to balance itself over its feet, because it's like got a backward, like a bird, like the knees are backwards in a bird.
Yeah.
And that's how it would walk. It looks like it would be pretty unstable overall because it looks like its feet aren't big enough. I don't know.
Huh.
You typically want larger track. It looks like that thing from RoboCop. I can't think of the name of the model. It was. Let me see if I can find it here. RoboCop. Robot. Did you mean yes, that's exactly what I mean. That's what I typed.
ED 209.
Yeah, the ED 209 looks an awful lot like this thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys can see the ED 209.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Huh.
I don't know if we can.
Here. I will open the link. Nope. There we go.
ED 209.
Oh, your dad's going to bed.
See you later, Pop. Love you.
So, yep. Yeah. Everybody's guessing. So.
Like, what?
They're giving you the answer. So.
What, for ED 209?
Yeah.
Yes, ED 209. Very nice. So 2 people got the ED 209 reference there. I couldn't remember the name of that thing. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can post a picture in here. Evidently not.
I sent a link with a picture. So.
Sweet.
Yeah. But I just thought it was neat. So. Yeah.
That is pretty neat. All right, so, do we talk about this or not?
Which one? I can't see what's circled or highlighted.
This is the one I want to talk about in stupid news.
Okay.
So I kind of want to skip these two.
All right.
For later, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. We'll skip that one.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. In stupid news that are stupid. Here we go. We're going to talk about some stupid news. Right? So here it is. I thought was pretty funny because this is bound to have happened to somebody, but I just think it's funny that it happened here. Okay, so North Carolina man's video of a UFO turns out to be what?
It turns out to be the blimp.
Yeah, so this guy has a video of a UFO. Turns out to be the blimp covering a NASCAR race, which tells me he probably seen it around Charlotte.
Yeah.
Next to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, right?
Yeah. The
So he's
shaky
got
video
his-
has gone viral since being posted.
He's
over
like,
the
oh,
weekend.
what is it? It's over a lake. So where is he at that he's seen it? That's the thing. He's probably from a vantage point where he just knew. He's like, oh my God. So he posted this UFO footage, right, of a stationary object hovering in the sky over a lake on his cell phone. And the viral video, of course, has become viral. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. That's why I thought it was none of this world. You've never seen a freaking blimp? All right. So it turned out that the UFO wasn't actually a UFO, but it was the Goodyear blimp covering a nearby NASCAR race. And he says, we don't want to get in a good way of a good story, but that's definitely us. That's what Goodyear said. Goodyear said in his statement, we don't get in the way of a good story, and yeah, that's us.
I wonder how many MUFON
But here's where it
reports.
gets good, though.
Yeah.
The guy's name is Swing. Right? Swing, however, is not convinced.
Yeah.
I've never seen a blimp that looked like that.
I can
But he
picture
just
him
said-
crossing his arms when he says,
like-
I've never seen
He's like, nope. I've never seen anything like it before, but I've never seen a blimp like that. Well, okay.
So,
Huh.
but it's,
Yeah. But see, I want to know where he's at, what lake he's looking at. You know, like where he is when he sees this.
Pat, tell me he was drunk.
It probably is drunk. He's like, I was out there
Yeah.
fishing. Okay, and it does look kind of weird, but you know what? It's a freaking blimp, and I'm watching the shaky video, and it's obviously not a UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I could mistake that for a dark cloud.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not a dark cloud.
Yeah.
It's the Goodyear blimp.
It's-
And even the Goodyear people are like, hey, that's us. And he's like, I don't care. He just,
Yeah.
Nope. He's like, I'm not convinced.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's like, but still, I like what Goodyear's response was. We don't want to get in the way of a good story, but that's definitely us.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm gonna warn everybody. If you click on the link to this article, there's a bunch of hyperlinks and you think they'll take you to more details about the story. They do not.
No.
Yeah, that is some clickbait right there. Like,
Yes, it's from Inside Edition,
yeah,
a reputable news source.
but like the gone viral hyperlink,
Yeah.
which you think would take you to the video, the original video.
It does not.
No, it takes you to woman rescued by a unicorn.
Is that for real? Let's look at that.
I guess so.
See, it almost got me.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Women who were rescued on unicorn float, thankful. Oh, so even the title is clickbait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, what it was is these chicks were out floating around this big, like, float, like a pool float.
Yeah.
And evidently, they didn't have any idea of what would happen if it got away from wherever they were supposed to be tied up to, because they were supposed to be kind of tethered. And they weren't. They just kind of floated around for a while, and they sort of got stuck. And they called the cops, I think, and the cops showed up. And before the cops rescued them, they did some video,
Yeah.
and then they threw them a rope and pulled them in.
Oh, they roped them in like a cowboy too.
Yeah, pretty much. So like, yeehaw, here we go. So
Yeah. So don't click on any of the links in that article because they're not going to take you to the redneck and where he might be in North Carolina, which I'm still very curious about. So, yeah.
yes,
Oh well. Yeah. So.
well. Do we want to talk about the mooning case against the Virginia softball coach? His wife?
That's up to you. I left that in from.
Well, I thought this was pretty funny. Okay. So in Virginia, right?
Yeah.
The softball coach's wife. This is in Floyd, Virginia, which is not very big. It says the moon over Virginia was half visible that May evening, as was one on the softball field. So the Roanoke Times reports that 57 years old, already should know better, 57-year-old Debbie McCulley is accused of mooning the stands. But a judge basically said that the indecent exposure charge could be dropped. So,
Why?
Because McCulley's husband coaches the Glenvar High School junior varsity softball team, which is already why herein lies the problem, right? So her husband's the coach of the high school junior varsity softball team, and a Floyd County Sheriff's deputy report says that McCulley took to the field after a loss to Floyd County High School and exposed her right butt cheek.
Okay.
McCulley says she thought the other coach was going to attack her husband, so she refocused the attention.
Okay.
I guess things got a little heated here, right?
Yeah.
But the prosecutor, which is Eric Brainscombe, he says that McCulley has written a handwritten apology and will perform community service. So
Okay.
McCulley will likely have a charge dismissed or receive a suspended sentence at a February administration hearing. What? How much is this fine? Is it jail time in Lloyd, Virginia? Because if it's indecent exposure and it's like a $50 fine, I would just pay it. What I think happened is that things got a little heated. Both the coaches were already a little saucy. I think that 57-year-old Debbie McCulley got a little mad and basically showed her ass.
12 months in jail
Whoa.
and $2,500, up to $2,500.
Yeah, I think I would have to write a letter and do a little community service myself. I'd be picking up some trash. I have a little vest.
And
I'd be wearing that thing too.
depending on the situation, registry on the sex offender list.
I wouldn't do all that. That's
Well,
bullshit.
that's what it says
I
here,
know, but
so, yeah.
I get it. I mean, that's
know.
for the bad side of indecent exposure.
I know.
She just got a little fired up and showed her ass,
Yeah.
evidently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's why I wasn't going to talk about it, but
Yeah.
we already did, so there you go. Kind of is what it is, so.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
I like the one that you put in here. When life gives you lemons and stolen lemons gives you 5 years in prison.
I don't know. I didn't understand why this.
It's a funny.
So that's my title for it. But basically, I scour the web for stupid news. He scours it for more legitimate stuff most
Well,
of
hold
the
on.
time.
We have to clear this up.
Yeah.
Brittany asked, she mooned the losing team, and the answer is no. They were the losing team.
Yeah.
See, that's where it is. Right? They were the losers. And they're all mad about it.
Yeah.
So Pat's just picking up moon pies.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but she had one of them, just the partial butt.
Yes.
Because she's classy. She's a lady.
Oh god.
Just with the one.
No. Anyways, so
Gross.
I find stupid news. I talk about it. Sometimes I think the titles could be better. Like in this, my title is "When Life Gives You Lemons and Stolen Lemons Give You 5 years in Prison." So,
Yeah.
deputies, California man had 800 pounds of stolen lemons.
Damn, that's a lot of lemons.
Yes. Now, this
Where is it? It's in Thermal.
Thermal, California, and then their headline is "Talk About Driving a Lemon."
Huh.
Authorities say a man has been arrested in Southern California after deputies found approximately 800 pounds of stolen lemons inside his car. Can you imagine? I mean, I really hope that's like a hatchback, not like a little sedan. I mean,
Because a 50-pound bag of lemons,
is like a sack of potatoes.
it's a lot, man.
That is a lot of. I mean,
What kind of car is this?
I can picture like those old like 80s commercials where somebody wins a prize and it's stuffed inside the vehicle and they're trying to drive.
Yeah.
That's what I pictured right there. But Riverside County Sheriff's officials say 69-year-old Dionisio
Yeah.
Fierro
Fieros.
was arrested Friday and booked on a charge of theft of agricultural products. Deputies were investigating recent farm thefts when they stopped his car in Thermal on Friday morning. Inside his car, they found several large bags of freshly picked lemons they say were stolen from a nearby farm. Telephone number for the suspect could not be located in public records, and it wasn't immediately clear if he had an attorney who could comment on the allegations. And that's all there is. Nobody asks, what are you doing with these lemons?
You're going to sell them is what you're going to do with them.
Really?
Yeah. Oranges, lemons, citrus, I mean, all that stuff sells, right?
Man, I would have loved I was gonna make like the world's biggest lemonade stand,
Yeah.
or check it out. I'm
Or
gonna be on.
like Dave says, play Betty Crocker and making pies.
Yeah, a lemon ring pie would be
Yeah,
so
I think
good.
that dude's just going to sell them.
So-
you want a bag of lemons?
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
yeah, but yeah, 800 pounds of lemons.
Yep, no explanation.
None.
And he didn't have an attorney who could answer questions, so
Oh well.
looks like he's just stealing stuff.
Yeah. So. Okay.
There you go. When life gives you lemons, nothing happens. You just get caught for stealing.
You just got for
Clickbait again.
yeah.
Okay, so here we go. We have some New Mexico news, and these are from KOB4. These are True. Okay, so True 30 is a place that lets you. Okay. New Mexico True is an advertising campaign. True 30 is 30 places that you should see or explore in New Mexico. All right, which is pretty good because some of those places are pretty interesting to go to, some of them of which we've gone, and some of these are straight up, we need money, like as in we want your tourist dollar, and that's okay, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
So, and I like how the article goes. It's like, yeah, Dave says off-ramp produce. Absolutely. You want a bag of lemons? Like $2 for a bag of lemons? That's what that is. Absolutely correct. Okay, so there's a reason why New Mexico is called a land of enchantment, or otherwise known as a land of entrapment. That's what a lot of people say. From the breathtaking views of the Brazos Cliffs to the valleys of the Valley Caldera, our state is rich in natural beauty. That's what this says. That's what they want. That's what they want you to hear.
Voice there.
Yeah, that's what they want you to hear when you read this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? It says, when you're looking for something really spectacular, beautiful, Carlsbad Caverns is still widely undervisited by New Mexicans.
It's undervisited because the elevators are always broken. So.
Yes. And it's kind of hard to get to. It's kind of hot.
Yeah.
You got to go like Roswell and keep going. Mm-hmm. But it is, okay, if you have never gone to Carlsbad Caverns and you're in the area, you're really dumb if you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody should make you go to Carlsbad Caverns. Like, if maybe you're on a trip coming back from California, somebody should make you go to Carlsbad Caverns and spend a couple hours down there seeing something that most people probably would never see in their lives.
Do you realize you just said somebody should force you into a dark cave?
Yeah, but it's all for the learning, right? But no, I mean, it's worth the money to go see it. It is impressive. It's not something you have to go back and do again and again.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're like a little kid, you should probably go back when you're an adult and can really appreciate stuff. But if you do go, you should bring like a hoodie because it's kind of moist.
It's wonderful. It's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it's hot on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't
And
even...
technically, Dave is correct. It's not Carlsbad Caverns. It's actually called White's City.
Oh.
Yeah. And Brittany says, my dad made me go. Yeah. Well, I hope you had a good time. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if it's not, then you didn't appreciate it.
Oh, wow. How many of these have we been to?
A lot.
Okay. 1, 2.
Okay, so you can take a sunset stroll at White Sands. We did that. So we've gone to Carlsbad, we've gone to White Sands, we've gone to the Taos Gorge Bridge, which is actually really cool. Dave went. And Brittany says, my dad made me go. It was worth it. I got a t-shirt. Yes, very nice. That's why I like Brittany a lot. I would even go so far as to say, I love her. She's a good kid. Where else did we go? We went to...
We've been to 13 of these.
Yes. We went to where the Billy Kid... There's a bunch of Billy the Kid places that make the claim that Billy the Kid was there and did something.
Yeah.
We've gone to a couple of those. Where else have we gone?
Oh, actually, I got to click all of them. So, all right. We've been to White Sands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Taos Gorge
Taos.
Bridge. Yes. Dave went there.
Yeah.
Dave and Kristen. As a matter of fact, it was a super fantastic time.
Yeah.
What else? Billy the Kid place. It's like Fort Stanton and around that area. Went there.
Yeah. Bandelier. We've driven past Chimeo.
Yeah, we're not going to count that.
Hatch, Sandia Peak Tramway.
Sandia Peak Trailway.
We pulled up to the Billy the Kid Museum.
Yes, we did, but they wanted to make us pay, and we're like, you know what, gotta go. But we stayed in the whole area.
Yeah, $30 for a tour. You have to walk around and leave your dogs in the car.
Carlsbad.
So, Cashua Tent Rocks.
Yep, Tent Rocks.
Pie Town.
Well, let me tell you. Well, I'm not gonna ruin it for you.
The Trinity site. And the Very Large Array.
Large Array.
Yep.
What else?
I don't know. Elma Paez?
Yes.
Yeah.
Elma Paez or Elma Pie. Yeah, they're bringing up a lot. You know, the funny thing is there's a lot of if you do this, if you want to check out some of these places to go to, you can go to newmexico.org and then /New Mexico.
I was supposed to go to
sites, right?
I was supposed to go to Blue Hole with Adrian, but I never got my crap together.
But
so
I think a lot of these are the places that need to be visited because they need some tourist action there.
True.
Yeah,
but
like how
here's the
they're in
thing.
there too.
Would you really want a tourist to go to the Rio Grande Gorge? I mean,
yeah, it's good to see.
Okay.
And you can see the Rams.
Yeah.
Remember the Taos Pueblo is actually pretty cool. We haven't gone there yet. We
did. We went to the craft fair.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
we did. We did do that.
Bought a pretty blanket, and
I think Mr. Dave calls them New Mexico white-butted mountain deer or something like that. It's pretty funny. So, And Jay says, if I come to New Mexico, I want a tour from you guys, darn it. Well,
Yeah.
no. How about that?
There's no way there's 30 on there.
What? Yeah, it's 30.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
We've been to 13 of 30.
13 of 30.
Yeah, so.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But
We've also gone a bunch of other places that pretty much are not on this list.
Yeah, like places you want to go, like Route 66 or...
Well, we did Route 66 stuff. So.
Yeah, but it's not on the list.
Well, I like how
They're
they
not
say
even
select
advertising
it. I like it says, which New Mexico true sites have you visited? Select the locations you've been to. So let me start clicking, see what happens.
Because you've been to a couple of them and I haven't.
That's true.
But my problem is some of these, I don't see them as worthy of being on the list.
Yeah, that's true.
So...
Bandelier.
The Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument, I think, should be on this list. The problem is they don't grade all the roads, and it's
so
kind
that
of
makes
hard to
it
get
hard.
to. And half the time, when you're trying to get to the cool stuff, you're on private land.
That's true.
So, yeah, let's just get a tourist from the East Coast who
We've
isn't
gone
familiar
to
with this stuff.
the Volcano National Monument.
Oh, yeah.
Couple in there.
We have?
Yep, and Elm Pass.
Yeah, I'll go there.
We're just clicking away here.
Sky City. I had an
Joshua Tent
invitation
Rocks.
to go there.
We did go to Sky City, but we didn't stay.
Yeah.
Hightown. We didn't do the San Juan River because that's river.
Yeah.
VLA, Trinity site. Okay.
Because you've been to one more than I have.
Yeah, we've been to 16 of 30. We can share this with our Facebook friends. So we're going to share.
Yeah.
We're going to share it on the Facebooks. We're going to share it on a page.
Dave says New Mexico white-butted goats. and
White-butted goat deer things. That's what it was.
Madrid, he mentioned Madrid. Madrid is very cool. That is a very cool little city, a little north of here. It's an unincorporated town.
Yes.
It was once a mining town and for coal and for some other things. And it was coal right here, and then to a little bit north of it, turquoise. Like really nice turquoise called Cerrillos turquoise.
Yeah, Cerrillos turquoise.
And I actually have a ring of Cerrillos turquoise, and it's one of my most prized possessions.
Yes, it's your wedding ring.
One of them, yes.
Yes.
But Madrid was really cool, and it's not Madrid like Spain. People will correct you. It's Madrid.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to Rodeo Drive and they're like, it's not rodeo, it's rodeo.
Yeah, but
Same thing, it's rodeo and you know it.
very pretty. And Adrian's like, I need to take you guys to Laguna to go hiking. That's another place that should be on this list.
Yes.
Laguna is a very small pueblo with some beautiful stuff around it and some very interesting history, because a little bit north of it, there's a land grant, which has a wonderful history. And there's also, I think, like a uranium dig site.
Yeah, I don't want to go get radiated.
Yeah, but the whole history of that
Make as
pueblo
much
is
as
just amazing. So,
Yes. You know, once you get through all this stuff, there's a list. It finally brings you to a map
oh,
where you have like the 30 or like Bottomless Lake, Rio Grande, Shiprock, Carlsbad Caverns, Chaco, City of Rocks, Taos Pueblo, White Sands, Bandelier, Gila. Yeah, there's a bunch.
Dave's like, be sure to get your ice cream in Madrid. Yes, there is a...
Yeah. Well, my ice cream was delicious.
Yeah.
Dave never even got asked if he'd like some ice cream.
Really?
Because they're racist.
Shh. Remember when we tried to go back? Or
Trinity site.
was it when we were with Dave that the water in the whole town went down?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had no water.
No water, but they got sodas.
Yeah, pretty much.
And beer.
Yeah. And that's where Dave took a really cool black and white picture of a telephone.
Yes, and he also, I still have a picture someplace on my cloud of him taking a picture of the origami garden. It's one of my favorite pictures.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would make this list, though.
It
These
should.
are more like places you'd go, like scenic places.
But we have been to more places in New Mexico. My boss from my old
We've
job.
been to a lot more. A lot of the ones we've gone to aren't even anywhere close to being on this list.
But my boss at my old job would actually roll her eyes if somebody came up to me and said, how long have you been in New Mexico and where have you been? She would roll her eyes and be like, Omi has been to more places in New Mexico than most New Mexicans. And I didn't realize that was a bad thing.
It's not.
But I also didn't realize that I was so different. I figure if you live in a state, that's one of the things you do, no matter your economic status or what you're doing or your industry or your interests, you check out the state you live in.
Yes.
As a kid in Virginia, I visited places in North Carolina and in Virginia as school field trips.
That's true.
So, I mean, you know, Jamestown settlements, colonial settlements, art museums, things like that. Offbeat stuff. I mean, we visited Bayville Farms when it was still a cow farm.
Yep.
Yeah.
We also have seen the world's oldest ham and the oldest peanut.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would eat it. It was like from 1863, I think.
No, I would not have. But it was strange that, you know, like I said, we've been to so many of these places. Most New Mexicans haven't. And you can do it. You too can visit all these cool places. So.
Yes.
Yeah. And I do want to go hiking when I have a day off. Anyways.
Yep.
So. But definitely check out the link. Did you put the link in there? Or
no.
Okay, I'll do it.
I did not.
Yep. So hopefully we can actually round out that list during fall and see if we can get to even more places. But yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you have the map?
Oh, would you like a link? Copy.
Oh, there it is. I got it.
Too late.
I got it.
I'm copying it. Yeah. Pasting it. There. How's that?
See, that's funny. Like, this map shows Laguna Pueblo all big and then all tiny Sky City.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So,
Yeah. So we're getting powerfully close to being able to, or finishing the podcast. We're not that far away. We do have this little section called Binge-Worthy BS. When we watch something and we think is pretty cool, we put it in here just to give you kind of something to say, hey, what are they watching? And something maybe you can watch too.
Yeah.
So we finished off Voltron, the animated series. It's on Netflix now. And I got to tell you, I liked it. I liked the last season, which is the last season for a minute.
Yeah.
Overall, that cartoon has been pretty solid, mostly.
I like it.
I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I will say this because I know there's one person that will get this. I'm going to say this. Vehicle Voltron, was represented in the last season. Maybe it just wasn't Vehicle Voltron. Because I have watched...
Spoilers.
I have watched the older show, and I have seen where what happens. I'm like, what? So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. But we also have been watching what this was, and this is what you were going to talk about.
We should probably sit down and write a show about this, or around this theme, but it's Dark Tourist on Netflix. It's only got a very short one season so far. This guy travels around the world from a very hipster, millennial, very progressive,
like or something like that.
Very progressive perspective. So when he travels to these places, it's to visit places that other people would want to go to due to dark or grim elements.
Yes.
Such as the suicide forest in Japan, Dias de los Muertos in Mexico, and the Jeffrey Dahmer tour. Yeah. So all these very grim things, as well as like some just creepy stuff. Like there was a creepy temple in one of the shows. Yeah. But he brings his influence and his questions, which I think come from a place of good, but they're coming from an alien understanding of these things. A lot of these cultures and dark tourism places are richly steeped in history and culture. And he comes from them bluntly, like, why would you worship a day of death? Or, why would you sacrifice all these animals?
Almost on the verge of being disrespectful.
Yeah. And there were a couple episodes where I'm just like...
I think he's Canadian, so they just kind of leave him alone.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It almost seems disrespectful. In fact, a couple of the episodes have made me cringe because... I'm sorry, you are a stranger in a strange land. Show a little damn respect.
Yeah.
Don't try to immediately... And I hate to say this, have a colonialist perspective and try to impress your values in the form of question.
Yeah.
You know, just open up and realize these places are sacred. They're dark, but they're sacred and they are very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think we should make a podcast on approaching those things, because I want to visit some of these creepy or crazy or scary or grim places, but I don't want to get punched in the mouth, basically.
Yeah.
You know, because if I were a local in any one of these, I would punch you in the mouth. So,
well, see, that's just it, though. I mean, most places you travel, coming from a world traveler, right? A lot of places are more forgiving of a lack of understanding of their culture than we are.
Okay.
Because they get it. They know you're not there to, you know, they know you don't get it.
Yeah.
So they just, oh, okay, poor stupid guys, right? I mean, stupid Americans kind of a thing. So it'll be okay.
Yeah, but that sucks. Stupid American.
Well, that's what they say. They say, you know, it's just, oh, the crude Americans, the stupid Americans or whatever, but it's okay. But you know what? You know what works?
What?
Hey, how you doing? If you're friendly, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know. But it also doesn't, yeah, the internet, we can look stuff up too. I mean, there's ways you can spend a couple minutes learning about somebody else's culture. It doesn't hurt you.
I think you dropped 2 bombs in the podcast, and people are talking about them.
Yeah, I know.
So
it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think maybe we should.
Oh, Godzilla, the animated series on Netflix, was also good. You should watch that. If you haven't seen that,
really?
you should watch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not you. I know you don't care about Godzilla, but it was good.
But we're waiting. So, I mean,
Ryan says, such a good show. Binge watched the first season. I don't know if he's talking about Voltron or Dark Tourist.
Yeah. Okay.
And there only one season of Dark Tourist, so it's got to be Voltron. So, yeah. What are you doing?
I'm tired of being sick and trying not to cough into people's ears.
Very nice.
So, but yeah. Like I said, I think maybe we should do a little bit of an episode on being respectful and touring these dark places.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Ryan's talking about Dark Tourist. Yeah, I think he was from New Zealand.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's a Kiwi.
Is he Australian? I was like, no, he's he's New Zealish. Is that a thing? New Zealish?
No, Kiwi.
Kiwi.
I don't know.
Well, Kiwi's a nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So it kind of is what it is.
So.
Very nice.
Oh. We didn't update our email addresses, so.
You didn't.
I
did.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so we're getting ready to wrap the podcast up. And so, okay, good. He was talking about Dark Tourist. That's what we thought. Yeah. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, now's the time. We will definitely answer them. So if you're listening to the audio podcast, you can definitely join us on Sundays and you kind of join in. Mm-hmm. So nothing wrong with that. Costs you absolutely nothing but your time, and hopefully you get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. So it's kind of one of those things. So we should play some more. Banjos. I like that. Yeah.
Well, if people need to contact us, what is the correct email address for the new podcast?
Contact at CreepGeeks.com.
Okay.
And I will spell it right in our show notes. Everything we talk about is available on our website, so you can actually download, or probably don't want to download, but you can actually go to the website and follow all the show notes for all the things that we talk about today, including the music and stuff that we play.
Yeah.
So.
Well, all the music we play is basically licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license, or licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. All music provided during the podcast is listed and, I don't know, as shown in the show notes.
Yes. So you can check it out.
And then, like we said, email us. It's going to be contact@creepgeeks.net.
Yes, or Greg at creepgeeks.net, or Omi at creepgeeks.net. Or... No, that's it. That's only 3. Yeah. You can also find us on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you can go to Creep Geeks and, leave a message, do a direct message, so we're there. Or, YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. You have to look for Creep Geeks.
Yeah.
Or Cheap Geeks actually works too. So either one of those, because we do have a YouTube presence that's outside of this. Creep Geeks was actually started because Cheap Geek didn't make sense for some of the stuff that we talk about, but Creep Geeks does. So there you go. A little learning for you. So, we're kind of going to talk about it that way. So, Yes.
Oh, and then for those of you who have asked, we are officially, as of tonight, sold out of patches, but we are launching merch.
Yes.
Additional merch over the last few days. I think Kitty is actually one of the last people to get one of the patches. Her and Mr. Stokes' order came in at the same exact time.
So Mr. Kevin is asking, what time on Sundays? I need to know when I can make some free time. Typically, we start around 5:30 New Mexico time.
Yeah.
We usually start to get everything set up and make sure everything is going to work a little after 5, and then we'll kind of start to go live at 5:30. So, yes, if you like the show, you actually get informed when it goes live. So there's that. So hopefully that helps you. So there you go.
Yeah.
Very nice. Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Anything else?
So, no.
What were you looking for?
I was looking for the patches because I did not expect everyone to want a patch, so I only ordered a limited quantity.
We will get some more then.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Maybe we should talk about the merch store because people wanted shirts. And the merch store has shirts.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called exactly. I have to kind of look. It was a little wonky trying to find this thing. Somebody actually ordered one already.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Like, hey.
Okay.
So let me find a link, and we will put a link in there, and you can take a look if you want. So I'm going to order some shirts because I think they look cool.
Yes, Kevin. Next Sunday, try to make some free time if you can, around 5:30ish. So
yeah, that's kind of
5:30 Mountain or Central.
Kind of what I say.
Yeah. So.
Here we go. Spoink. Spoink. There. Take that.
Oh, okay. New comments?
Yes. Zip up hoodie for sure.
Yes.
See, I like hoodies, but I can't be trapped in that thing. I can't get out of it if it's, you know what I mean? You ever get a hoodie, it's like super baggy, it's like, this is nice. Yeah. But then you get one that fits a little bit better, you can't get out of it because the hood chokes you and all that stuff. I got to have some breathing room, man. Yeah. So, yeah, for sure. There's a zip up hoodie in there. What else is in there? We have CreepGeek stickers. We have our favorite logo tee is the burgundy logo that has Bigfoot and the UFO, and it says CreepGeeks with a solid logo. I do like that. We also we have a coffee cup. We've got multiple styles of hoodies, and each of the shirts can come in different colors. Yeah. There's even I made a turquoise one because I thought it looked kind of cool with the background to be turquoise. It's pretty spiffy.
Oh.
Yeah, and some of these shirts have just a logo on the front, but most of them have a logo like on the top left, like or like above your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then a big logo on the back because that's just kind of the way I like it. So if you don't see one you like, or if you want a different style or shirt or whatever, let us know. I can make another one because I've been kind of fighting with this thing off and on. Yeah. It's weird. It's kind of wonky, but it works. And so, yeah, like I said, I got a message from Mr. Ware who said, hey, man, I bought one of those shirts. I'm like, I didn't even know it was up. Sweet. So I guess it is working. Yeah. And you can use PayPal. You can use whatever you want there. So now, as far as how they're shipped, you buy a shirt, they ship it, and it shows up. And also, if you use the code CreepGeeks, it should be free shipping.
Yeah.
Some of them actually have where you get free shipping and 10% off goes to the ASPCA.
Ooh.
American Society for Prevention Cruelty to Animals. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. And the prices are high because that's kind of the way I had to do it to try to get free shipping for people. Because I don't think you should have to pay for shipping, so it was a thing. So anyway, I'm not making excuses, but it is what it is. Those are the prices we got. Use that CreepGeeks code to get the free shipping. Yeah. And 10% goes to charity, which is the animals. So yeah, that's kind of the way that's going. And over time, as we make more shirts, there's going to be some camera-related shirts in there as well. So the CreepGeeks podcast store will have a bunch of stuff in there too. Yeah, kind of is what it is. And the mugs are cool too. The only problem I have with these stores that sell stuff like this that you kind of create and design and sell, the mugs are like small. They're like 12 ounces. I'm a man. I need like a big old manly coffee cup.
Well,
you know,
maybe
so.
one day when we become famous, we'll just commission.
Maybe when you get rich, we can have a $16 coffee cup.
No.
Or maybe what I can do is buy a sticker and stick it on a coffee cup.
Or when we become super famous, we'll just commission a pottery artist we already know to make special cups.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
So, but yeah, the stickers are pretty cool too, the rectangle. So, and there are some shirts that have the rectangular logo as well. I'm a big fan of the UFO Bigfoot CreepGeeks logo.
Yeah.
It's like he's cruising through the forest, you know? Yeah, and it comes in different colors like red, green, turquoise, yellow.
Good night, Pat.
Some of the logos
Good
are
night.
transparent, so whatever shirt you put it on, the shirt will show through.
Yeah.
So if you buy a burgundy shirt, then anyway, so there's a bunch of different flavors in there. So hope you'll like it. See you later, Mr. Pat. Thank you very much for showing up. Much appreciated.
Yep.
So there you go. So yeah, pop into the chat next time.
Yeah.
If you guys are listening like on iTunes, drop by.
Yeah.
Follow the link. Be right there. So yeah. Is that all we got?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap this podcast up. This has been episode number 91 of the Creep Geeks podcast. Do appreciate everybody listening and showing up and contributing and commenting and having a wonderful time. At least I am, so it's pretty good. So
I would be having a great time, but I'm sick. So
there you go. So yeah. Anyway, love you guys. We're gonna do it. So very nice.
I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter. Peanut butter. I like.
Jay says he's still here. Sorry, Jay. Sorry, dude. We didn't mean to turn the lights out on you. So.
Still have 6 people watching?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's because I know that once we end the podcast and we stop recording, we kind of hang around for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's kind of what we do.
Well, I'm trying.
So, yeah. In the future, a little spoiler alert, we're going to do one show that's free for everybody. And then when that show ends, we're going to keep doing another show that's where the adults can listen. Yeah.
Bye, Dave. Bye, Jacob. Jacob's just like, good show, not goodbye. But
Hey, he's like, good show. We're like, see you later, dude. Beat it, right? That's kind of funny.
yeah. Huh. Who are these people? How did I get a bunch of friend requests all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't get no friend requests.
Oh, well, this is obviously a hack account. Never mind. So,
Sweet.
no. So,
Send them all links to buy t-shirts. That'll show them.
yeah.
All right, see you guys later. Hey, be sure to tune in to the Creep Geeks podcast on Sundays. So, see you later.